Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends at yarnspirations.com. This is a little buoy bag, and this is a pattern by me, and it's been designed for the Nova Scotia trip that are for people that are coming in. For this particular bag, you're going to need one carabiner clip. You're going to need a stiff piece of cardboard that is on the interior of the bag so it keeps the bottom of the bag flat. And then you just need 3 balls, one of different colors, of Lily Sugar and Cream. So the cotton is the best. You'll use a 4.5mm size US 7 crochet hook, and it is a really easy pattern to be able to follow. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off at the base of the bag and then build ourselves up through the side. Very easy pattern to be able to maintain, and something that we can do on our bus trip. So let's get started right away, and let's begin our journey now. The colors in the tutorial sample will be hot pink, it'll be mod green, and white. So Karen, my neighbor and my friend, also the coordinator for our trip, always says that white is usually a representation in the buoy somewhere. Not every time. So in these particular buoys that you'll have is that, and I didn't realize this until I moved to Nova Scotia, is that each one of the fishermen, when they do a buoy, the buoy looks identical for all across their buoys so that they can identify their buoys compared to everybody else. So the coloring that you'll see here is just a representation to make the pattern work, but you will get close to the end of each one of the balls. So if you are going to add more of a different color, like add more of this blue, you'll run out. So just be conscious of that. If you have 4 balls, if you want to play with another color, you can go ahead and do that. So you will notice that the buoys are really quite awesome. So the carabiner clip, if you were to use this buoy, it's going to clip onto it like a backpack or something else, and then you have a tie here that will go through the top, and we're going to create eyelet holes so that you can put the tie through, so you can close it as well. So I'm going to begin, and let's start our journey. So let's begin. We're going to do a square base of the bag, and it's going to be a square. So you're going to use your whatever color you decide to be the base, and just a few rows up on the side will be the one color. In my case, I chose hot pink, but the samples that you'll see in the instructions are different from each other for what color I chose. So I'm going to chain 25. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go all the way to 25. Meet me back here in a moment. Now that I have 25 done, I'm going to go second chain from the hook. So count it back, 1 and 2, and get the back hump of this stitch because I think it looks better, the back hump of the chain, and just single crochet yourself on the back hump of every chain going across. And this will give you a consistent number of being 24 single crochet. So whenever you chain something and it says a number, in our case 25, the first row when you single crochet across will always be 1 less. So it's always going to be, so in this case it'll be 24. So just single crochet on the back hump of the chain all the way across. So now that I've come all the way across, I have 24 single crochets, and I'm going to turn my work, and I'm just going to go back and forth and do single crochets. And it's very easy to be able to count the 24 rows that you need without having to use a tape measure or anything like that. And I'll show you that tip in a bit. So when you come back across, just chain up 1 and single crochet all the way across. And whenever you get to the end of the row, you'll just turn your work, chain up 1 and single crochet across. And we need to do a total of 24 rows of this, and I'm going to show you an easy way to count in just a moment. So please do this until 24 rows are complete, and my tip is coming up next. An easy way to keep count is that each one of these indentations that you see equals 2 rows. So you got 2, 4, 6 rows already. The other side looks slightly different, but it's also the same. So you see this is 2, 4, and then you have 5 and 6. So one side looks different than the other, but if you do it and you can see it looks like this and it's consistent in spacing, it equals 2. I'll see you at the end of number 24 in a moment. My 24 rows are complete, and I can count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. So I'm ending on the wrong side of the work, and I can tell by the tail. So the tail is over here. This is considered the wrong side of the work. So we're going to turn our work and begin then going up the side. And the tip for the side is that we're going to do single crochet back post all the way around. But when you hit a corner, you don't want to add in extra stitches. You just want to go from one to the other. So when you're going down through the sides, you're just going to equally space it out. The goal is to get 90 stitches all the way around. If you get 88, that's fine. If you get 86, that's fine. You need an even number of stitches to make the rest of this bag work. So if you don't get 90, 88 is fine. Just all the stitch counts that were provided in the pattern, you just have to just adjust for that. Okay, so everything will work out as long as it's an even number. So to begin the 25th round, you are going to start up by chaining 1. Okay, and you're going to start in the next one because it's easier, and you're going to do a back post single crochet. Okay, this row is going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass, okay, but it works, and it gives a lip at the base. So then you're going to work then a single crochet back post around, and this helps make the bottom of the bag flat. Okay, so go in between the posts and back out. So what I'll do is I'll go to the end of the row here, and I'll turn and I'll show you how I'm going to do the sides that are part of the side and not part of the top or bottom. So I'm coming close to the top of this one here, and I'm just going to swing around. So I'm just going to do my very last one, and I'm not going to add in any extra stitches. I don't want extra stitches in the corners because I want this thing to kind of keep it square at the base. So as I do the last one, I just jump and I start going down the side. So just roughly guess where you think it is, and just grab a few strands and just equally space your single crochet in the back loop only. So I'm just grabbing the ends of the rows. It's really not a big deal. It's tight. Okay, so when you get to the end of this, you're just going to turn. You'll do the back loops or the back posts of that, turn and do the back posts of here to take you all the way to here. So this is the right side, the outside of the bag, and what you're doing is you're forming the lip coming up the sides on the other side. Please do this around. I'll see you at the end of the round. So I've already verified my count. I have 90 stitches, and I am going to join. Now, one thing that you should know about this pattern is that most of the times we are going to turn our project, we want all of our slip stitching to be on a corner of your Buoy bag. So usually when you go around in circles, that it travels up on an angle. And so if you did that, then you'll have a stitch line that's going to come up midway through one side, and it will look like crap. So what we're going to do is that you're going to notice is that I put in bold on the instruction a right side, wrong side, so that you understand what we were doing. Okay, so right now we were on the right side of the work doing this, but at the end of this, when you joined it, you now need to turn it and work going in the opposite direction. So whenever you're working like this and you see the interior of the bag and you're working over top of it, it means that you're on the wrong side. And when you're on the outside like this and it's away from you, you're on the right side. Okay, so let's begin. You're going to notice also that this bag will have a taper to it. So it's got a little bit of a fat bottom to it, and then it's going to get a little bit more narrow as we work our way up. And I have some tips for that as well. But let's begin round number 1, starting on the wrong side. So you should be looking at it from this perspective, and we're going to begin. And I need to show you a tip when you're turning your work like this. Whenever you turn a project back and forth in the rounds, people potentially add an extra stitch. So when we go to chain up 1, see this one right here, we're going to skip that. We normally go into that, but we want to start in the next one over, because when we come back around, we're going to use the last one. And so you will notice that this will happen each time. So you're going to just chain up 1. We ignore the first one where that's coming out of, and we start here. If you start there, you're going to end up with an extra stitch. So start what appears to be second over and just single crochet yourself all the way around. Okay, and I will be back at the end of the round to verify that you're going to end the stitch work right where you should. And I'll be right back in a moment. So when you come around, it looks like you will have stitches left. Okay, I have one more to do to verify that I've got 90 stitches. So you're going to see what appears to be 2, and people will use this as a stitch, and therefore you'll add an extra stitch. So you have to stop right here, and this, even though it appears to be a stitch, it's not. It's leaning in towards the first stitch right here. So just think about it as it's a leg just reaching over. So when you go to finish the round, you are just going to slip stitch in there, and when you slip stitch, you're pulling it all together. So you're not creating a gapping space by doing that. It's just the leg of this one here appears to be a stitch, but it's reaching here. So we're going to turn and work, and there's a special round of instruction. Because you're on a bus with me, I don't want you counting stitches. So we're going to give you an extra tip right here. On the bottom of the first page, it says, to reduce the need to count, look at each side. In the middle of each side, you must do a single crochet 2 together when instructed. This is only ever done on the right side of the work. So you're going to notice is that when you flip the page, it's going to say in round number 2, we're on the right side of the work, chain 1 single crochet into each stitch around, but near the middle of each side, place a single crochet 2 together to reduce 1 stitch per side. Join it, and therefore you've just eliminated a 1 stitch per side, so we've gone from 90 stitches to 86. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that look at the middle, just pick a middle one that you want to do and put 2 stitches together and do that for each one of the sides. So I could have given you a stitch count for each one of the to get there, but I want you to enjoy your trip and to socialize. So when you get to close to the middle, it, you know, even if it's off by a little bit, who cares? Just stay within the close to the middle as possible. So when you start the next round, you chain up 1. You've now turned your work. You're looking at the right side of the work. Okay, so the bottom of the bag is here, the side is here, and you are going to go right here. So don't come into the one that where this is coming out of like you typically would on an edge of a row right here. And so you're just going to start single crocheting across, and you'll look down at some point, and when you're about halfway through a side, you're going to do a single crochet 2 together. Okay, so it's almost there. I'll do one more. And so I'm going to put the next 2 together. So just going in, pull through, next one, in, pull through, and pull through all 3 loops. And that was a single crochet 2 together. So the next time I do that will be on the middle of this side, and this side. So I just need you to keep spinning around, single crocheting into each stitch, and in the middle of each side, do a single crochet 2 together. We're going to be doing a reduction like this several times throughout the bag, but it's only ever done on a single crochet round, and it's only ever done on the right side of the work. So continue this all the way around, reducing your stitches, and you should end up with 86 stitches by the end. So I'm coming around here and nearly done. And I'm looking for those extra stitches. So this one here is the lead in towards here. So I have 2 stitches left. Okay, and then, so it looks like an extra big gap, but it's not. And therefore you'll reach on over here and do a slip stitch. And then turn your work and begin to do the next round. To begin round number 4, we're going to do another reduction in the middle of each one of the sides to bring us to 82 stitches from 86. So you're just going to chain up 1. Remember, it's not the one that this is coming out of, it's the one next to it. And you were going to single crochet around, but in the middle of each side, just do a single crochet 2 together to reduce a stitch per side. And we've already shown you how to do that. And please do this for round number 4, bringing us to 82 single crochets all the way around. And I'm going to put these 2 together. It's roughly around the halfway mark. And if it's a little off, it's okay. Just be pretty close. And I will see you at the end of the row. So I'm finishing up the side here, the last round. And I just got to watch my beginnings and my endings. Okay, so this is the lead into this. This is the leg. This is the last stitch. And then I'm just going to reach on over here and just slip stitch it and turn. And we're going to begin round number 5 on the wrong side. Round number 5, chain up 1 and apply 1 single crochet in each stitch. So ignore the first one this is coming out of. Move on over to the next one and single crochet yourself around. I'll be back in a few moments at the end of round number 5. I'm coming up to the end of the round. And so this is the leg of this one. So we just ignore that and go right and slip stitch to the beginning. turn our work back to the right side of the work. You're going to see it's now starting to turn into a little basket-like feature. And now we're going to begin round number 6. So round number 6 is the last time we'll be using this color until we get to the stripe, and then we use this color at the very top of the bag. So we're going to just chain up 1, and we want to do a reduction midway through each side, 2 together midway on all 4 sides, and this is going to reduce us to 78 stitches by the end of this round. So when you start, ignore the first one this is coming out of, because that's not a stitch, it's right here, and you are going to single crochet around and do your 2 togethers in the middle of each side in order to reduce a stitch. Please do this for round number 6. I'm coming around the end of number 6, and this is going to be the last time we're going to use this color for a while. And so I dealt with all my loose ends at the end of the trip, meaning the end of the bag. And so I'm going to come into my last one here. Remember, this is the leg of the first one, and you were just going to pull it on over and pull through. So what I would recommend is that you snip your yarn and just pull through and pull it tight. And we're going to stay on the right side for the very first time going around, so we're not going to turn our work for the next round like we had been, or next round. And so we're just going to stay on the right side of the work just for another round in a row, because we're going to begin a sequence in order to do crisscross stitching that will open things up. So when I say we're going to start with the same one where it's attached, it's right here. And so we're staying pretty close to the corner, just like you have. So I will see you on the next row with the next color. Let's begin with round number 7. Right where you had the one with the join, you want to go to the last stitch. This is a connecting spot. This is not a stitch. So you want to start here, which is more in line with the corner, coming straight on up. And that's where you're going to stick in your hook with the yarn already on. And we're doing a standing single crochet, which just means that we're going to yarn over, pulling it through the stitch, and then pull through the 2 loops. And that's a single crochet, but it's a standing version. So skip the connection spot and just single crochet in each stitch all the way around. And you will still have 78 single crochets when you get all the way around. I'm crocheting up over top of some of the straggler, the loose end, so that it gets stuck underneath, and then you can use a tapestry needle just to do the remaining. So just single crochet all the way around for round number 7. I'm coming all the way around, going into my last one. This is part of the first one that we did the standing. Just do a slip stitch to finish. Turn your work to the wrong side of the work, and I'll explain why I'm having you do the crisscross on the wrong side. We're about to do some crisscross stitching, and crisscross, if you're ever familiar with texture, it always appears more bulgy on the opposite side of the crochet work. So if I'm crocheting it like this and I'm doing it, the bulge appears on the opposite side. So if I do this on the right side of the work and I put the crisscross, the bulge is on the inside of the bag. So I wanted to make sure the crisscross was on the interior. So as we begin now to start, we're going to start crisscrossing, and we immediately have to then begin to chain. So now we have to immediately begin. So as I mentioned, because we're doing the turning, we never worry about the chain that is right directly under the loop. We always skip to the first one, but because this is crisscross, we want to go to the second one over. So just reach on over to the second one and slip stitch. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we want to come back to the one that we skipped, and we're going to access it from behind. So just make sure this chain work is in front of the hook, and you're going to go into the stitch that you skipped and do a double crochet. If you prefer to cross in front, then just do so, just be consistent. So then you're going to start back on here in the work. Okay, so this is where this one's coming out of. So you skip this one, the next one, go to the second over, double crochet there, and then come into the one you skipped, accessing it from behind. So just make sure everything is in front of the hook and go into the one you skipped. And you're going to do this all the way around. So skip the next empty one, go to the second one over, double crochet, and then come back into the one you skipped, going in behind it. and I need you to go all the way around for round number 8. So I'm coming all the way back around, skipping one, going to right here. It looks weird, but you have to trust this system. And then you're going to go to the one you skipped, and then you were going to slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3. Okay, so the chain 3 is in front of the work right here. So just get into the top, slip stitch over. You should have a total count of 39 crisscrosses, and you're going to turn your work back to the right side of the work, and we're going to begin number 9. A little tip I'll leave for you: if you did not have 39 crisscrosses, maybe you had 38 crisscrosses, maybe you had 40, it does not matter. It's in a group of 2, so each crisscross equals 2 stitches. So as long as it always stays in an even number, which it will, if you did all your crisscrosses and there's no extra stitches, this pattern will work out. Just ignore the stitch counts, okay? Just do what you need to do. So don't feel you have to frog in case you made a mistake. So let's begin, and we're moving on to round number 9. We're going to do a reduction per side. So reduction 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's just like what you already know. So you're going to chain up 1, single crochet, and you can clearly see this line over here. So that's your first single crochet right here. And so midway through each side, just do a single crochet 2 together, and then it will reduce your stitches down to 74 single crochets all the way around. So please single crochet around, do your single crochet 2 together along the sides, and I'll be right back in a moment. Okay, finishing up the 9th round, just coming all the way around, and then you were just going to slip stitch to the beginning and turn your work back to the wrong side of the work, and we're going to do another round of the crisscross for round number 10. Round number 10. So right where we're sitting, we need to move on over. So remember, this does never count as it. So this is the first stitch, this is the second. We are going to slip stitch second stitch away, chain 3, and this is skip that the stitch that we skipped. We're going to double crochet in it, leaving the chain in front of the work. So you're going behind that chain. And then you simply coming all the way around, and you are just going to crisscross, just like you had been before. So just make sure you skip a stitch after a crisscross. So skip, second one over, and then skip on back. Okay. And let me know what in the comments if you decide if you like going behind for a crisscross or in front. I prefer behind, but it doesn't mean I'm always right. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you at the end of the round. So I'm coming all the way back around and just finishing this off, and slip stitch to the beginning, top of the beginning chain 3. So I went into a space there, so make sure you get the actual chain work. It'll look better. And then once you get that done, turn your work back to the right side of the work, and we're going to begin round number 11. Round number 11 is just a straight single crochet all the way around. So chain up 1, ignore the one with the join, and start the next one over. And single crochet in each stitch all the way around, and I'll see you at the end of round number 11. I'm finishing up round number 11. I'm currently on the right side of the work, and I'm telling you that because I do not want you turning your work around at the end of this round. So slip stitch to the beginning, single crochet right here, and get rid of this yarn. So I'm just going to trim it. I will weave it in at a later time, and just pull it on through and give it a good tug. Stay on the right side of the work as we progress to the moss stitch for the next 3 rounds, and there will be tips in each. And let's begin round number 12 with the color A, which is the same color as the base, and let's begin that next. Let's begin our first stitch, and we're going to begin in the same stitch as the join, and we're doing a standing single crochet here, and just come on in, yarning over, pulling it through, and then pull through the 2 loops. Okay, and now you're going to chain 1, and I'm just going to throw this straggler in behind because I will need to weave that in later. Skip the next stitch and single crochet the next, and you're going to do that all the way around. So chain 1, skip 1, single crochet in the next. Because you have an even number, regardless of what, even if you were off, as long as it was an even number, this will always work out. Okay, so just do this all the way around, and I'll see you at the end of the round. Coming all the way around, and so I skipped the last stitch and just slip stitch to the first single crochet. I'm going to get rid of this color, so I'm going to trim it. I will weave it in later. And we're moving on to round number 13. And when we do number 13, this is where we joined. We're going to join into this chain 1 before the join for the next one, because we've been going in a using the right sides only. The lines will shift around, so I need you to go here so that we continue to keep ourselves into the corner. So let me get my new color ready, and what I normally do is just wrap it around and pull it through just to kind of help secure that, but then I also weave that in later with the tapestry needle. Let's begin round number 13. Round number 13 is using the same color as the very top of the bag, which is the first time we're using it. In my case, it'll be white. So I did it where the join is, right here. I'm going to come into this chain 1 right before it, go right into the chain 1 space, and attach with a standing single crochet. And I need you to repeat what you just learned before. So chain 1, skip the next single crochet, come right into the space, and single crochet. This is called a moss stitch, a linen stitch, a woven stitch, or a granite stitch, depending on your mood swing. So just chain up 1, skip the next single, just go into the chain 1 space, and do this all the way around for round number 13. At the end of the round, just chain 1 after the last single is in the space, and slip stitch it to the first single. Get rid of this color, and then trim it, and we'll move on to round number 14, which will be the final row of moss stitching. And I'll be right back in a moment. Get your first color ready, which was color A. Let's begin number 14. So this is where we did the join. I need you to go into the chain 1 after this join this time, and attach with a standing single crochet right into the space, and then chain 1, skip the next single, and go right into the space. And you're going to do that around. You already know how to do this at this point. So chain 1, skip the next single, go right into the space. And what this is doing is it's isolating that last round so it looks more polka dotty as it's going all the way around to make it really unique looking. So do this for round number 14. I'll be right back. I'm coming up to the end of the round. Just chain 1 after the last single is in the space, skip the last single crochet, and attach to the first single. Get rid of this color. We're moving back to this color right here, which is color B, and we're going to complete another section of crisscross. I will tell you though, there is no more reductions in this particular concept, so we will not be removing any more stitches. So we'll just be continuing the same stitch counts right up until the top. So let's move on to round number 15. Stay on the right side of the work for this round coming up, and we'll be back in just a moment. Let's begin round number 15. So I want you to attach it to the same stitch of the last join, which is the first single, and we are going to do a standing single crochet. So all I need you to do for this round is that you're going to use each space and also each single crochet. So you're going to go into the space and then the single crochet. So it's right here. Do you see it? Okay, and then you'll use the space, and then you'll go right here. So do this all the way around, single crochet, using spaces and single crochet. I'll be right back. Coming all the way around, just filling in all the stitches and spaces. Okay, the space will be the last stitch, and you're going to slip stitch to the first single crochet. We're going to turn our work now and begin another crisscross round, round number 16, on the wrong side of the work. So let's do another round of crisscross. So remember, the first one doesn't ever count. So this is the first, this is the second, come to the second, slip stitch over first, chain 3, and cross back into the one you skipped. You've now done this twice already before, so this should become a little easier for you to understand. So skip the next empty, come to the second, double crochet, and cross back into the one you skipped. Please do this around for round number 16. When you get all the way back around, just slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3, and turn your work back to the right side of the work, and let's begin the 17th round. Let's begin round number 17, chain up 1 and just start. So skipping the one that's a join just right here, and just single crochet in each stitch all the way around. I'm finishing up number 17 here, just a single crochet round, coming right to the very end, and we're going to slip stitch, and then we'll have to turn this around to the wrong side to commence round number 18. Round number 18 is the last time you'll be doing the crisscross double crochet, so you're not going to use the first one that's coming out of. Skip the next one and go to the second over and slip stitch, chain 3, and then cross back into the one you skipped. So you've done this before a few times now, and you're just going to crisscross yourself around. So skip the next empty, double crochet in the next, and double crochet in the one you skipped. Go all the way around for number 18, and I'll be right back in a moment. Finishing up round number 18, just crisscrossing right to the very end, slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3. And now let's turn our work back to the right side of the work, so the outside of the bag, and let's begin our next round, and it'll be the last time using this color. Begin number 19, just chain up 1. Don't go into the one that this is coming out of. Go right here, you see the crisscrosses, that's the first stitch, and just single crochet yourself all the way around for round number 19. And at the end of this, we do not want to turn, we just want to keep on going on the right side, and we'll be introducing color C coming up next in number 20. Finally, at the end of number 19, we're just single crocheting right to the very end and slip stitching it to the first one right there. So I'm going to get rid of this color, and we're going to move on to number 20. Stay on the right side of the outside of the bag next, and we'll begin number 20. Let's begin number 20, and starting off with a slip knot on the hook. And we are going to begin into the same one that you did the join with, staying on the right side of the work, the outside of the bag, and you just want to attach with the standing single crochet, so that you're just going to just yarn over, pull through, and then pull through the 2 loops. So that's your first single crochet. The next one has to be a double crochet. This is called the lemon peel stitch. It's also called the crinkle stitch. It's used a lot in clothing and really dense fabrics. So you're just going to lay the line down. So if this is double, the next one has to be single, and it's alternating between the 2 different stitches. So this is single, the next one is double. So it's just simply single and double, and you're going to do that all the way around for round number 20 and alternate between the 2 stitches, and I'll see you at the end. So I'm coming around to the end of number 20. The last stitch should be a double crochet that's going in, and you should know that because the first stitch is a single, so this has to be a double, so it has to be opposite, and then you're just going to slip stitch to the first single crochet, turn your work around, and let's begin number 21. So what I just showed you is going to be just the same thing over and over for several rounds. Let's begin number 21. To begin number 21, before we did the turn, the last one was a double crochet. So this means that we do the opposite that's on top of the stitch. So let's just chain 1 and talk about it. So if this was a double crochet, okay, then this one has to be single. So the rows are always going to start off with a single crochet, and then the next one has to be a double. See how this one looks different? That's a single crochet, so there has to be a double crochet in that. And see how this one's more condensed? So that's a double, so it has to be a single. If you can identify the way they look, it's a lot easier. So this is a single, and it's got to be a double. So it's still the same combination, so it's a single, double, all the way around for round number 21, and I'll see you at the end of the round in a moment. So I'm coming all the way back around, and remember that the last stitch has to be a double crochet that's going in. Okay, so you're still alternating between the 2, and then you slip stitch to the first single. Okay, so that if the double was last, when you turn it around and you do number 22, then you're starting off the same way I've shown you before. Let's begin that. So back on the right side of the work, the outside of the bag, just chain up 1. And so the last one was a double, it's right here. And you are going to make this as a single and then double and single and double and do that all the way around for round number 22. I'll see you at the end of the round. So I'm coming all the way around. The last one is a double crochet, slip stitch to the first single. Turn your work and let's do number 23, and then we're gonna get you some repeat instructions to get the remaining of the section done. So 23, back on the wrong side of the work, just chain up one. The first one has to be a single into the double, and next one's double. So continue to do that same sequence around. So single, double, and then we'll talk about the repeating that you'll need to do in order to make that happen. So if you're ever losing your way, just make sure that you keep an eye on the stitches to make sure that everything will stay in balance. Coming to the end of number 22, the last one is a double crochet, going to slip stitch, bring it on over, and then turn your work. Let's do number 23 on the wrong side of the work. Number 23, just chain up one, and you're going to single crochet in the first double, and the next one is a double in the single. So you're just repeating what you already know here on the wrong side of the work. So single doubles all the way around, and I'll see you at the end of number 23. At the end of number 23, just you're on the wrong side of the work, just slip stitch to the beginning and turn around. So now I need you to repeat rounds number 22 and 23 a total of 3 more times. So 22, 23, 22, 23, 22, 23. So it's a total of 6 rounds, and I need you to repeat that, and I'm going to meet you on round number 30 in just a few moments. At the end of number 29, just finishing off with that double crochet like you should be, and just slip stitch and turn to the right side of the work. The remaining of this bag, we will be doing just the right side of the work only, and we're going to now create eyelets to have the cord run through. Let's begin round number 30. To begin number 30, you're going to just chain up one and single crochet in the first stitch. Okay, so this is it right here. And then chain one, skip one, and single crochet in the next. And you're going to do that all the way around. So chain one, skip one, single crochet in the next. Chain one, skip one, single crochet in the next. The single crochets are going into the double crochets if you want any context for that. And if it doesn't for you and it's not working out so much, just fake it, right? So just chain one, skip one, double single crochet in the next. I'll see you on the opposite side in a moment. Coming all the way around, just single crochet, chain one, skip the last stitch, and slip stitch to the beginning, single crochet. And we're now moving on to round number 31. Number 31, we're going to make those holes a little bit more sturdy, and just chain up one, single crochet into the single crochet, and then single crochet into the chain one space. So you're filling in either a stitch with a single crochet, and if it's a chain one, just put it right into the space, and it will make those eyelets turn a lot more secure. So let's do that all the way around. So single crochet in each stitch or chain one space. I'll be right back. And just putting the last one into the last space, slip stitch to the first single crochet, got one more round of this color, and then the final round is after that. Round number 32 is next. Round number 32, just chain up one and place one single crochet in each stitch all the way around. And when we come around, we're going to get rid of this color and do one final round of color A, which is the very beginning of the bag that we started with. I'll be right back. Coming all the way around, just single crocheting, and then we're just going to slip stitch to the beginning. Let's get rid of this color and do one final round of the color A, which is the very beginning of the bag. I'll be right back. Let's begin the 33rd and final round, and you're going to attach to the same one of the join, have it already on the hook, and do a standing single crochet, and then just single crochet in each stitch all the way around. And I'll be right back at the end of that. I'm finishing up the very end, and I'm in my last stitch. Now, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you how I would finish this. So usually people just join and you get a lump at the end. So at the very last one, don't join it with the slip stitch, just pull it on up. So this is a video tip. Then put it through a tapestry needle. And normally when we've been going in the stitches, we go through like that. So go through the first one exactly like that from the back to the front. Okay, so you're putting in a mock stitch right at the very end, and you're going to pull, and see where this is coming out of the center? Just pull so that that pulls in, and go down directly in the same stitch where that's coming out of. And when you pull, see you created this loop, just pull and it will pull things nice together. Turn it to the inside of your bag, and the best way to hide in your yarn is to break apart the fibers. So if you go in between strands, stuff falls out. Okay, so see how I'm breaking apart the fibers? And so I'm going to come through the first time. The first time, make sure it's got the right stretch you want. And then you're going to go back through a slightly different path, because if you don't, then it's just going to pull itself out. Stay off the top of the edge so you don't ever see it. And back a third time. And that's what I would do. And so you'll want to weave in your ends, just back and forth like that, for all of them that you have. So what's left? We have the carabiner clip to add. We also have the chain, and the chain will be next. Okay, we're going to make the chain with the color B. So that was, in my case, it was this green. So I'm going to grab the outside, and I'm going to try to reach in and find the interior of strand as well. So I want to have this as double stranded. Okay, that's just a fluke. It's just because there's not much left on here. And I want to put the two together as if it's one strand, and just create a slip knot. I don't need a long tail on that one. And now put your hook in. So just pretend that it's just one strand, and one of the strands is coming out of the interior, the other one is coming out of the exterior. And I just need you to chain 120. So we just use them both together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, just let it come on out. 8, 9, and 10. Go all the way to 120. We'll be back here in a moment. I now have 120. Keep this side of the tail a little bit longer so that you can use a tapestry needle to help you weave in the cord. Cut them together and then just pull up and give it a good tug. And also on the other side, give it a good tug. So with the longer side strand, you were going to place this into your bag. Let's do that next. So here I'm looking at the rows back and forth. So when I positioned it, I made sure that the center was in that. If you want it on the other side, it doesn't really matter. It is a square panel. So just follow it straight on up and see where you are. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take the longer strand of the cord, and I'm going to carefully place it through a tapestry needle, both of the strands. It's easier to weave this stuff in with the tapestry needle than it is to do a crochet hook. Now, I don't go right into the center of the middle. I just a little offset. So what I do, what I want to do is that I want to leave probably 2 empty in the front, in the beginning, right here. So this I would classify as straight up in the middle. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go into the bag through the eyelet and pull quite a bit through. Okay, so you want to pull quite a bit through, just enough so that you get a nice dangly in the front. When you pull the bag shut, these danglies get much longer. Now you're going to go to the next eyelet from the behind, and you're just going to pull that through. And what I need you to do is just go back and forth and weave in your cord through the eyelet that you have. And I wouldn't pull on the eyelet or on the cord at all. I would just kind of just weave it through and let it just settle. The cord that you're working with is going to get much smaller because the bag is at the full capacity of being fully open. So these cords are much shorter when it's fully open versus when you give it a good tug. Go back and forth, weaving, and I'll be back in a moment. So I'm coming all the way back around, And I'd probably leave like some eyelets empty at the front. And now it's going to be very close to the same distance. Okay, this is my third time making this bag, so it's I know the spacing by now. So I'm just going to trim these nice and short. We've already pulled on them. Leave a little doohickey on the end. And just for aesthetic reasons, is that I'm going to tie the ends into having a little knot. Just very close to the end of the tail. Okay, so what's the last step? We need to put in the carabiner clip at the back of the bag. So now we're going to flip up, and what I need to do is that I need to use 2 of these anchoring pieces into a carabiner clip. So just grab one of the clips that you may have. In this case, I think I'll go with black, just because I can. And so what I want to do is that I want to scoop in behind the one, leave the cord so the cord is still up. So just take the carabiner clip and just go in and grab the one first. Leave the cord so the cord is on near the top of the bag. Okay, so it's there. And then I'm going to reach on over and grab the next one as well. And luckily you don't have to take that off. So it's round 2, and then just rotate the clip so it's both inside, and so therefore this bag can clip onto something when you're ready. Okay, so now you can just go through your project, weave in your loose ends. You can pull the top of this now shut, and then, you know me, I just like a little good bow tie at the top, and therefore you can seal the top of your bag, and you have a nice little boy bag to enjoy. That's it for today. We hope you enjoyed.